Hello, my name is Rebecca, a Seint artist, and today I want to talk about one of the most common questions I get from customers, and that is, what is the difference between contour and bronzer, and where do I put them? Do they go in the same place? Where do they go? Well, I'm going to show you today. So let's talk about, first of all, kind of the difference in color. This is my current contour, which is Astoria. This is all Seint makeup. And then this is the bronzer that I love and recommend to most people, and it's Bella. So usually the difference between contour and bronzer is contour is typically more cool. Not always. There are some warmer contours out there, but usually the contour is cooler and the bronzer is warmer. So I'm going to show you on my hand actually. So this is the contour. Okay, and then this is my bronzer. See the difference? You can see how the bronzer is just warmer, the contour is cooler. Now, the reason for this is the contour is meant to create depth and shadow, okay? So you don't want it to look dirty, you want it to look like more of a shadow. The bronzer is meant to give you just a beautiful sun-kissed glow, adding warmth to your face. So that's why you want it to be on the warmer side. Okay, so now let's apply these. I typically apply, there's so many different ways to apply your contours. I typically apply my contour first, then I put on my main foundation color, which will just kind of speed through that. And then I'll show you how I apply and where to apply the bronzer because it is totally different. So I'm using the blend brush with Seint. And I'm going to start with my contour, which again is Astoria. And I just put this anywhere I want to create that depth. So right at my hairline, that's going to slim my forehead down. And then I put it right under my cheekbone. So if I feel for my cheekbone, here's the cheekbone, I go right under it and kind of push that up into my cheekbone. So think of it as kind of a push-up bra. I start at my hairline and just go straight down, stopping right at the corner of my eye. You want to go straight down to slim out your face. If you want your face to appear more full, you would kind of do a little like that action, but typically people want to slim down their face. So right there, and I'm going to do this on both sides. Again, I just kind of start at my hairline, pushing that up into that cheekbone. Okay. Then I always go down the sides of the bridge of my nose, not the side of my nose, because you don't want your nose to appear fuller, just down the sides of the bridge of my nose. I just pinch my brush together. You can also do this with your fingers and just go down. Either way works, but you want to leave just a very narrow space right at the bridge of your nose for your highlight to go, and then that will just slim it. And then whatever's left on my brush, I just kind of chisel out my jawline. So you don't want to go on top of your jaw right here. You want to go under, because remember, we want to go where we want to create shadow or depth. So we want to go right below our jaw. Okay, there's my contour. That's where you place it. Now I'm going to throw on my main foundation color, which right now I'm using amber, flipping the brush around to the bigger side. I like a very, very light natural coverage, so I go with a fluffier brush. The fluffier the brush, the lighter the coverage, and see how that's just blending so nicely in with the contour. I'm keeping the contour where I put it, but I'm just going to kind of marry the colors together. And I already did my eyes, so we don't have to worry about that, but I would usually go over my eyelids as well with my highlight. So I'm just gonna kind of go through this real quick, since we're not really focusing on the highlight today. And I'm putting this really anywhere I did not put the contour. And you can see how this is just blending in and matching my skin tone so perfectly. That's the importance of getting a shade match, which I as an artist can help you with, is you want to make sure you're wearing the right shade for your skin tone. If not, it will look too light or too orange or too dark. You'll see texture if it's too light, all the things. So I'm just gonna put a little bit down my nose and then just kind of softly soften that. Okay, so I'm basically done with my highlight. Now I will go in with my bronzer. I like to apply, I'm gonna soften my contour just a little bit. I like to apply my bronzer before my blush. Some people do their blush first and then their bronzer. I like bronzer and then blush, but that's totally up to you. Okay, see how that's just softened, contour. It's created that depth and dimension that you don't get when you just put one color all over your face. So now I'm going to go in with a bronzer. Again, this is Bella. We have a few other colors. Bella is my favorite. I think it's great on any skin tone. And I like to apply this with my finger and then blend with a brush. I'm going to use the blush bronzer brush. So I'm going to put this, okay, so with bronzer, you want to think of the sun coming down and hitting your face. That's where you want to apply it, because you want to create that sun-kissed glow like you've just been out in the sun all day. So I'm going to go kind of on the higher points of my face. So the contour I kept where my forehead kind of goes back, so on the lower points of my face. Bronzer I'm going to put on the higher points of my face. So my top of my, like kind of middle, the highest point of my forehead. I'm going to go just around like top of my cheekbones. Just a touch on the bridge of my nose, chin, and then I will add that down to, or I always put some on my neck as well. So, okay, so once I have that where I want it, then I'm going to take the brush. Again, I use the blush bronzer brush, and I'm just going to lightly kind of stipple and swirl, and you'll be able to see how this is just going to add so much warmth to my face. It is such a pretty, I love bronzer. And I especially love cream bronzers because powder bronzers will give you that warmth. They will add that warmth to your face, but they don't give the glow, the sun-kissed glow that creams do. That's why I love a cream bronzer. Okay, see how that just warmed up my face? Added such a beautiful glow. Then lastly, I will go in with my blush, and I just add this right above my contour. And then I take that same brush I used for my contour and highlight, and I just soften that blush out. And that is it. So I hope that helps, knowing the difference between contour, bronzer, where they go, because they are totally different. They serve different purposes, so they don't go in the same place, and that's the biggest question I get. If you want to shop Seint products, I put the links in my description, so just press that link. If you want a shade match for a palette of makeup, I will help you with a shade match so you wear the right color for your skin tone. And if you have any questions, you can, of course, there's so many ways to contact me, or you can just comment as well. But thank you so much for watching, and subscribe for more.